all fine weather will be. All fine weather will be.
So I hope all the boats out there are having fine weather today. They could probably use a little more air. It's kind of light, but that's better than all hell breaking loose. And I've noticed with maritime music, there are a couple songs about nice weather, but there are a whole lot of them about storms. There's a good reason for that. When you're all happy and your lunch is staying down and you know, it's a pleasant day, you really don't write songs about it because you're having a good, you're having a good day. And as they say, a bad day on a boat is still better than a good day in the office. Now, most of the songs are written about when all hell breaks loose. And that'll happen here on Lake Erie with particular fury because this is a very shallow lake. And you get what are called square waves because the wind will, if you really have a storm coming through, the wind not only whips up waves, which spike pretty high because it's quite shallow, but also this is a lake, it's enclosed, so you get reflecting waves, and when those two things cross, you get what's called square waves, and it just beats the heck out of your boat. Well, my father used to tell me, you like these storms on the Great Lakes so much, just remember, if you're gonna watch a storm, do it from the shore. There's a storm cloud over the harbor and the waves are capping white. The awful gloom of a sailor's tomb turns the afternoon to night. As the north wind peaks in a banshee shriek and the big lake calls your name. When you step ashore from the mighty roar, you'll never be the same. All the beaches fill with flotsam and the lighthouse beam glows dim. Flying birds, their cries are heard as they're blown back in the wind. And the piers are turned to driftwood in the course of a rising tide. Those who rest from the water's test, thank God they're safe inside. Stand on the rocky coastline, listen to the thunder roll. Let the wild sea spray blow all the way to the corners of your soul. Let the cold rain tear through your streaming hair as a proud nor'easter wails. Prayer you yell to the watery hell is lost in a living gale. Cry from days gone by, washing up forgotten names, whose final hour met the angry power of a lake too big to tame. When the great Edmund Fitzgerald sank with all hands lost that day, the souls on the Lady Elgin were forever cast away. Stand on the rocky coastline, listen to the thunder roll. Let the wild sea spray blow all the way to the corners of your soul. Let the cold rain tear through your streaming hair as a proud nor'easter wails. Prayer you yell to the watery hell is lost in a living gale. Now there's times the water's peaceful and the sun is all agleam. There's times the lake's a wedding cake in an icebound winter's dream. There's times the northeast wind blows into the coast of the inland sea. And the mighty waves no mercy save for the likes of you and me. Stand on the rocky coastline, listen to the thunder roll. Let the wild sea spray blow all the way to the corners of your soul. Let the cold rain tear through your streaming hair as a proud nor'easter wails. Prayer you yell to the watery hell is lost in a living gale. Let the cold rain tear through your streaming hair as a proud nor'easter wails. And pray like hell for those who fell down lost in a living gale. Oh, let's see. Once upon a time, there was a sea captain who sailed his ship across the great ocean, and he sailed to the west for 2 months, until he came upon this new world we call America. And he sailed up and down the coast of this new world we call America, until one day he came upon the opening of a great river. He sailed up that river to see what he could find. Well, there on the banks of the river was a Native American camp. So they dropped anchor out there in the river and paddled into the shore to do some trading with the tribe. But you know what happens in stories like this just about every time? The captain met the daughter of the chief and he fell in love. You know, John Smith, Pocahontas. Well, you know, we know about all those sailors, right? They got a girl in every port. Of course, nobody ever mentioned the girls had a sailor on every boat, too. That's another story. Well, the captain fell in love with the daughter of the chief, and he knew that in each different culture, in each different society, there was a right and proper way for a young man to court a young lady. So the captain went to one of the elders of the tribe and asked the elder, how in your tradition does a young man court a young lady? And the elder said, what our young men do is they go out into the woods, they get a branch of cedar wood. It's important that it's cedar. That's a grandmother wood, it's good medicine. Get a branch of cedar wood, hollow it out, put some holes in it. Then go down to the banks of the river, wait for the women to get water for the camp. And when the women come to get water, play some music. And if that young lady you're interested in stays to listen to your music, well, that means you're getting somewhere. See, us musicians have known that all along. That's why I picked up a guitar when I was 16.
Music.
Impress girls, right. But actually, you know, one of the real reasons we have music is because, as we well know, young men are not good about talking about their feelings. I'm sorry to tell you, it don't get a whole lot better when us guys get older either. And that's why we have music, because if you can't put what you're feeling into words, maybe you can put it in the music. So the captain understood this, so he went out in the woods, got a branch of cedar, hollowed it out, put holes in it, went down by the banks of the river and waited for the women to come to get water for the camp. But he had forgotten to ask the elder how you play one of these things. So while he was sitting here trying to figure it out, Brother Wind came along and blew across the opening. And he figured out you got to blow some air through it. And then Brother Loon came swimming up the river, and Brother Loon said, and he learned from the wind in the trees and the singing of the animals and the laughing of the river to play that music that was in his heart. So when the women came to get water, he tried playing the way he had heard the young Native American men play, kind of like this. But she didn't stay to listen because she'd heard that one before. So the next time the women came to get water, he tried playing a song he had heard the French voyageurs, the fur traders, singing as they paddled their canoes through the rivers and the lakes of this new world. And this time, when he played this old French canoeing song, she stayed and she listened. And they fell in love, and the story of their love became a traditional song that American sailors would sing as they raised anchor to come back home to America. See if you know it. You know it? Oh, Shannon Doe, I long to see you. Oh, way you rolling river. Oh, Shannon Doe, I long to see you. Away, we're bound away, cross the wide Missouri.
Oh, Shannon Doe, I love your daughter. Away, you rolling river, for her I'd cross the raging water. Away, we're bound away, cross the wide Missouri. That's the story of Shannon Doe.